I'm sure you get stressed out from time to time, right? I mean, we all do. But why is stress so bad for us? I'm Nick. Welcome to All Our Questions, where I search the internet for questions that we all want answers to, and I answer them. Today's question is, what is stress? We're going to find out, and we're starting right now. The feeling of stress can express itself in a lot of different ways, and a lot of times we can be carrying around stress and we don't even realize it until serious symptoms of stress start to surface. But regardless of how stress manifests itself, if we experience stress on a regular basis, it is certain to have a negative physical impact on our bodies, and it is most likely that it's going to cause us some severe long-term health issues. And real quick, make sure to watch this entire video because at the end of it, I go over some ways that you can deal with stress. Moving on. A stressful experience begins when we perceive or predict a threat because that's just our body's natural response to it. First, the sympathetic nervous system, which is a bodily system that regulates our unconscious actions, engages. This causes the hypothalamus to release the hormone cortisol into our bodies. Cortisol, which is also known as the stress hormone, gets absorbed by most of the cells in our bodies, and when this happens, it causes a boost in our blood sugar. Our brains then send a signal down our spines to our adrenal glands telling them to release more adrenaline, which raises our heart rate, and it helps us pull more oxygen into our bodies as part of our fight or flight response. The parts of our bodies that are non-essential for fighting or for running are deprived of blood, for example, our digestive system and our reproductive organs. And since those areas are deprived of blood, that blood has to go somewhere, right? Well, our bodies send it to our muscles so we can be pumped up and prepared for whatever it is that's coming our way. Under normal circumstances, this reaction is known as acute stress. It doesn't last for a long time, it doesn't cause any long-term damage to our bodies, and it goes away once we don't feel threatened anymore. Chronic stress, on the other hand, is a much bigger problem because it's what causes stress-related illness. The basics of chronic stress are pretty much the same as acute stress, with the main difference being it doesn't stop. It can last for days, weeks, months, or even years in some cases. When we're experiencing chronic stress, our bodies are constantly releasing stress hormones, and over the long term, this can be devastating. The long-term effects of chronic stress are heart attacks, a high heart rate, weakened immune system, which leads to illness and infections, insomnia, which is caused by the constant adrenaline surge, and our sex drives and appetite gets depleted. Eventually, these symptoms of stress can also lead to depression and anxiety. Luckily, stress-related illness is not inevitable, and there are things that you can do and techniques that you can use to help reduce the amount of stress that you feel. The first thing that you can do is hunt down your stress like you're a detective and try to figure out exactly what it is that stresses you out. For example, if you get stressed out because you're sitting in traffic, then you can try to get to work earlier or later so that you can minimize the amount of time that you're sitting in traffic. If it's a certain individual that stresses you out, then you can try to minimize the time that you spend with that individual. Of course, making changes to minimize the amount of chronic stress that you feel might give you a little bit of acute stress in the short term, but overall, acute stress is better for you. For the things that you cannot change and that you're going to have to deal with no matter what, there are techniques that you can use to help reduce the amount of adrenaline and cortisol getting dumped into your body. Similar to reducing nervousness, the link to that video is down in the description below if you haven't watched it yet. Taking long, deep breaths can actually help slow your heart rate down and bring it back to normal levels. It can help lower your blood pressure, and it can help relieve tension. As woo-woo as it sounds, keeping a positive attitude and reminding your brain that you're not in any actual real danger is also going to help stop that stress reflex, or at least help it put the brakes on a little bit. As with everything else, a healthy diet and exercise is also going to help. By keeping your body strong and healthy, you reduce the likelihood of your brain triggering the release of stress hormones because you'll feel more confident and capable of dealing with difficult situations, and you'll be in a better mood in general. Another popular method of dealing with stress is through meditation, and I can personally vouch for this one because I've been meditating for about 1.5 years now, and it has worked wonders on my brain. As a matter of fact, I think I should probably do a video about meditation. If that's something that you would be interested in, let me know down in the comments. Finally, and most importantly, another fantastic way that you can deal with stress is by spending time with people that you care about. Communicating with others who we like and trust causes our brain to release oxytocin, which makes us relax and feel good. I mean, essentially, oxytocin is the antidote to cortisol, and it's the most natural way to help us deal with stress. If you know anyone who is under any kind of stress right now, share this video with them. It could seriously help them out by giving them an understanding of what's happening in their bodies and by giving them ways that they can help cope right now. If you have questions that you want answered, don't forget to use hashtag #AddToAOQ so that I don't accidentally overlook them when I'm looking for things that you want to know about. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button somewhere on this page so you can get more answers to all our questions. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.